Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 82. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super glad to have you on my YouTube channel. As you know, today in this video we're gonna have a look at the markets, how it developed this week, what opportunities do we have, and what we can potentially expect for the upcoming one. So it was a pretty strange week, I should say, like from Monday all the way till Thursday. I was waiting for a setup. I had some orders set. I didn't get triggered. I missed on some trades. But then on Thursday, I got one trade on AU. That made me some, but I risked like 0.5%. So I'm finishing the week around like 3% or something, which is nothing much. But not many opportunities were provided for me personally, so I really hope all of you stayed protected your capital this week, because I expect right now that we're gonna have some pretty nice moves. As you can see, already the DXY is starting to push. We had some final movements after Biden's speech, so pretty excited to see what's up ahead. As always guys, if you are new to this channel, it's all about trading. Every Saturday I share this weekly outlook and setups. Once per week I try to share an educational video, and more is to come as well. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell in order not to miss the notifications when I post a video. And if you already did, let's see what do we have for this week. Alright, as always, starting with the DXY, our best friend, to have a look at the dollar, how it developed this week, and it will give us a little bit of a guide on what to expect on the other currencies as well, because just looking at the dollar, it is mostly related to like all currencies. If the dollar moves up, EU will go down, USD Swiss franc will go up, and it kind of gets a chain reaction to all the currencies. So I really recommend you guys to start looking at the dollar every single day before your trading session. So zooming in a little bit on the weekly time frame, we can see that since a lot of time, since what is it, 7 bar, so since 7 weeks we hadn't had a single bullish candle, and finally after like 2 weeks of rejections to the downside, we finally have a nice bullish engulfing candle showing us that some bullish pressure is entering the market. So definitely we can start reaching a little bit to the top. I would say around 92 will be a perfect level for a pullback, so potentially we have 200 pips to right to the upside on the dollar. And then dropping to the daily time frame, we finally have a clear daily change as well, because from the previous week, yes, we had that kind of push to the upside, but it wasn't really clear if it broke that structure right here, because the price action is kind of wicky around these areas right here. December was pretty sloppy, but right now we finally have a confirmed high, because if this is a high, this is your higher low, and right now actually the EMA broke, retested, and right now we are heading to the upside, which is really good news. Because we finally start seeing some clear movements. And as you can see, even from here, I called longs down there on the dollar, and it's been developing perfectly to the upside, breaking structure, higher high, higher low, continuing to push up. Then we filled the gap. We gave a deeper pullback into this liquidity areas right here. And then I was actually a little bit puzzled. This is why this week I kind of avoided trading, because you see up until the 15th of January, which is actually Friday, we had that strong push to the downside, then this pullback, and I was like, okay, so is this now a lower high formation in order to go down, or are we keep with the higher time frame direction? The market here failed to make a new higher high, so I was like, yeah, is the dollar gonna push down again? What it's gonna do? But right now we actually confirm that the market is pushing up and currently creating a higher high. So for the next week is pretty simple. What we have to wait for is for a pullback, where the market can pull back into. Potentially first area to look for pullbacks is this kind of resistance area, now turned into support. The EMA is perfectly gonna support pricing here as well. So what I'm gonna be looking for around Monday and Tuesday for the market to create a little bit of a downtrend, to tap somewhere in around those areas, to show me some sign of a slowdown, then break, retest, and then we can potentially continue to trade to the upside. So therefore I am bullish on the dollar for the week ahead. Let's see how this one will influence the other currencies as well. And euro dollar, finally a very massive bearish engulfing to the downside. Very, very nice to see. Therefore we can start jumping into shorts. Zooming out a little bit, I was calling these areas right here this nice accumulation period, or distribution I should say, before the huge move to the downside. And actually I was calling 1.23 which got hit. We even came around 23,500, which was pretty nice to see. Like, have a look to the almost to the pip, and right now we are starting to reverse to potentially create a weekly higher low formation. So personally, I will be looking like a max pullback that I'm going to be looking for is this right here. Is this, because right here, this is where the move was actually initiated. So the market can come as deep as around right here where the market was bought for the last time, and therefore we can expect, like, we have around, yeah, similar to the dollar, we have around 200 pips to trade to the downside. On the daily time frame, so this actually showed us a little bit of signs even on Monday. So I marked this daily higher low formation right here after the creation of a higher high. So we cannot go short yet. But then on Monday, we clearly broke below, which was pretty nice to see. Tuesday, we actually retested. Wednesday went for a little retest as well. And then on Thursday and Friday, actually the Friday was the real deal right here, because this was a really massive candle to the downside. That's when we actually continued to the downside. So the daily time frame is as well changing to the downside. There is another level. Whoops, what am I doing? There is another level right here that I'm gonna be monitoring. This is 1.22 in alignment with this week and this last sell before the buy. So this is a pretty nice area to look for potential reversals or retracements, I should say. And then on the 4-hourly time frame, my community smashed EU today. I don't know. I tried to take a long from down there, or was it? I tried to take a long or a short that I wasn't triggered. No, I actually went long on USD Swiss franc and short on euro dollar, but I wasn't triggered on both of them, and I was pretty pissed about it. But as you can see, since this break to the downside, we consolidated for a little bit. We made that beautiful pullback. So this is your 4-hourly lower high formation. So you can just go all in on shorts right here after the confirmation to the downside. And then we started to break to the downside right here, and we had this choppy and tricky price action. Like, yes, we closed below this one right here, but I consider this to be a manipulation, like a strong push down and then a strong push up. I call this one a bearish bullish formation, so it's kind of a manipulation. And then as you can see on the hourly time frame, we have these lows. It got faked below and then it got faked above. So it stopped out the people that were long, it stopped out the people that were short, having their stop losses right here. And I was like, okay, what does the market want to do now? And actually at the end of the day, it ended up pushing down. So I believe the trade that I wanted to take was actually from this area right here, where the market initiated the push. So I was looking to take a short right here. I don't remember what happened. I had an order somewhere, but I wasn't triggered, or the market did not provide me with the retest that I wanted to see. Yeah, possibly after this fake up and after the break, I set my order around right here, but the market just gave a little pullback and then it continued to flush to the downside. So I think this was the trade that I didn't catch, and as you can see, it was a massive downside. And then actually my community managed to find a lot of trades in between the lines right here on the lower time frames. But right now, just having a look at euro dollar, we are clearly making a lower low, and very similar to the DXY, I'm gonna be waiting for some sort of a pullback, potentially Monday and Tuesday pullback, to tap us into some of those levels, and then we can continue. If I try to search for a level to actually get tapped, I don't see a perfect level right here that the market strongly started to impose. So definitely I'm just gonna follow the price action. I'm just gonna wait for a couple of full hourly candles of pullback, and then potentially I'm gonna write this down. First target 1.20, and then if this one breaks, then we can either expose 1.19 as well. So that's EU. Make sure to be patient and looking for shorts. It's also worth having a look at Euro JPY, because right here we have a huge bearish engulfing candle to the downside, indicating that sellers are coming in after, what is it? Yeah, 4 weeks of consolidation right here. And after this last buy before the big sell, this is a very nice area right here. So what I would expect is actually the market to open, to fulfill that wick right here, and then to potentially continue pushing to the downside. Then going to the daily, like, have a look at this price action right here. Like, this is really corrective. Like, when you start seeing channels like this, you can expect the market to dump. Like, this is one of those pattern what was it, yeah, channels or pennants or this sort of stuff. I don't trade those, but when you see like this sort of accumulation starting to happen, then you can expect the drop. All right, so first target for me on EJ will be this area right here, and then potentially for a second target, or for a deep pullback, we can go all the way down into those supply and demand areas just right here. Oops, let me just mark this one as well. just right here, which is like a very long, yeah, again, 200 pips. So all of those pairs are actually aligning for a potential 200 pip move. So let's see what happens. Then dropping to the 4 hourly time frame, this actually started to change from the top right here, but I wasn't sure. Like, yes, we push, pullback, lower high, lower low, lower high, and it just started to trend to the downside. But then again, on Friday, we actually confirmed a daily change of structure. And then the hourly time frame, we have a 2.0 strategy that we use in the community. Some of the members took 2.1s on this one, and it was brutal. But in terms of the other strategies, like when you see consolidations like this, small moves, small pullbacks, it just doesn't work pretty nice. But there were some opportunities on EJ. I didn't take any of them. So for the week ahead, we have finally broken below all of those support and resistance levels right here, taking out all the liquidity that is staying below as well, and confirming a potential short bias. So similar to Euro USD as well, I'm going to be waiting for the market to come into this area right here, 1.26, and then to potentially take the short into 1.25, and then possibly, yeah, well, this is huge right here. If we break below that level, we can get exposed to a huge downtrend. So again, the market is just starting out, guys. It's 15th of January, and potentially February and March, we're gonna have a nice trending market. So make sure to stay focused and make sure to go with the trend from now on. Let's have a look at the Aussies. Right here, we don't have that much bearish pressure. We kind of have an inside bar formation, which is good to see because we can possibly expect a breakout for the next week, and potentially the market can start a weekly retracement as well. Then dropping to the daily, something really nice to note is the overall change of this structure right here, right? This is why I always mention to you guys, market structure is super important. The market made a higher high, made a higher low. We buy from here, but then we expect a higher high, right? But then the market fails, and then clearly shows that it's failing with a strong bearish engulfing candle, engulfing the last 2 days of price action. So definitely we can start seeing some bearishness on Aussie USD. Potential targets right here will be my first target around 76,200, let's say, first target. And then if this one breaks, then you see that we have a huge uptrend. So all of those levels right here can get fulfilled. We can come even down there, which I don't think, because this is a, yeah, all right, this is a 700 pip move, so don't expect too much. But as day traders, first target will be this one from the daily. And then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see, so we had actually a pretty nice opportunity on AU just from right here. The market tapped right here, reversed, and there were some long opportunities as well. Let me just drop to the 15-minute time frame to have a look where it actually was. So we clearly reacted from that area. We showed the bullish sentiment, and then we provided with this little complex correction. Then there was a little long, then we again impulse, and then we retraced back to tap again this area that wasn't fulfilled. The trade that I took on Aussie, where it is, it wasn't one of my best trades. It wasn't really a high probability trade because I basically took it from right here after the market created a higher high. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, there was something on the left right here. Oh no, it was on the 30-minute. Let me try to spot it, guys, where it was actually. Yeah, here it is. I actually took it from right here. So I spotted this last buy right here before the big sell. The market tapped into this one, and then dropping to the 5 minutes around right here, I spotted how the market was starting to change the structure, to break below, to retest, and I took my trade from right here. My stop loss was above, and then I wrote it for around 6R. So I took profits at 6R, but my TP, my stop loss was 3.7 pips. And what I actually did is I saw the market push up, then it saw the market push down, and I started clicking on magic keys like close custom. But I thought it didn't work, so I clicked it a few times, and then I realized that it actually closed like a big bunch of my position, and then I just clicked close full, and I closed my profits around right here, which was around 3% profit because I risked 0.5% because it wasn't one of the trades that I usually take. And then we continued to push to the upside, and there were some trades that we actually took on the following days, but I'm not gonna break down everything right now because we're mostly trading the lower time frames because the market is not clearly trending. But right now, seeing this nice introduction of bearish pressure, breaking the most recent higher low is pretty significant. So what I would expect on Aussie is, again, as all the pairs, a potential pullback. Have a look where the EMA is sitting, exactly into that area. So if we can potentially pull back around these areas right here, we can definitely see a sell-off. targeting, where is my level? Did I not leave a level? Well, whatever, I am looking for shorts definitely on Aussie, and then consulting even with the hourly. Have a look at this huge move into the upside to stop out people that had their stop losses right here, and then we really introduce the selling pressure. So right now, all you have to wait for is for a little pullback. Having a look at AJ, it's not pretty clear, although we have this nice daily bearish candle, which is pretty good to see. Like the full hourly wasn't that clear, and I'm currently avoiding trading those pairs. But currently, just in terms of a very simple price action, we had this double top formation, we had this little uptrend that was clearly broken to the downside, and right now we are introducing the bearish pressure. The last higher low that was broken was right here, but we came too far away from it. Can we get a retest of this one? Definitely, but I would really appreciate if the market actually creates a little bit of a deeper pullback, maybe even to those areas, and then to potentially start selling off. So on AJ as well, I am looking for shorts, but first of all, as on most pairs, I am looking for pullbacks. So make sure to stay for Tuesday analysis to see how the market develop and how we can potentially execute on those setups. A very quick look on the NZDs as well, because we had this very nice bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, engulfing the previous week. So this is pretty significant, and guys, this pair can go all the way down to right here, like 67, and currently we are around 61. So this is a big move that could happen. Let me see, how much is it? Is it 200? No, it's around 400 pips. So I'm not saying that it's going to reverse all the way down, but we're having the first signs of the market reversing, and again, the market structure shift right here, the market creating a higher high, then actually almost breaking the higher low, but not sustaining to make a higher high. And then on Friday, after 3 days, as you can see again, 3 days of a corrective period, we finally impulsed to the downside, meaning that we might be bearish for the week ahead. And then as you can see, we even changed from right here, push pullback, lower high, big lower low. Then we had this lower high potentially for a sell, but then the market tapped into these areas and failed to push lower. But then again, we consolidated, strong bullish candle to manipulate into the highs, and then we started to pump down. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, you can see that the market went to fulfill those supply and demand areas right here. After a consolidation, strong tap into those areas, a little bit of a consolidation. If you go to the lower time frames, let me just check the 15-minute, for example, to illustrate how you can enter a trade. First, you have to wait for a break of structure, which is right here. Like, have a look, double top, break, like not really a significant break because of this big wick, then another wick. But if you just take like an arrow to the downside right here, the market closed below. And then all you have to wait for is for a little bit of a pullback and to potentially position your entry either at the most recent broken structure, which is right here. If you take this wick as well, retest, and then we go down. So this would have been a perfect trade, but it was Asian session. It was Asian session. I was looking at this one, but again, I missed that one as well. Currently, beautiful lower low. What we have to wait for, as for the other pairs, is for a potential retracement somewhere around like right here. And yeah, then you can go to the hourly to seek for potential areas like for some sort of structural levels. I see this bullish candle right here. This is kind of the most clear lower high that I see from the hourly before the market actually broke. So I'm going to be looking for this level. Have a look, it actually aligns with the arrow. So yeah, this could be a setup that I'm going to be looking for NZD USD, and then we can potentially start targeting. Like, first target will be this move right here where the move started. This is a pretty nice target to actually look for, and then for the second target could possibly be the downside right there. So really nice setups aligning for NU, and as you can see, NJ as well, after a couple of tries to break above that level. Let me check the weekly. Yeah, very nice weekly candle, very nice daily candle as well. So definitely those pairs are starting to show some pretty nice bearish sentiment. And again, this one already fulfilled those levels. So next level that I'm gonna be looking for, guys, is this one right here. This is a pretty nice supply and demand area to be tapped, similar to NU. And then if this one gets broken, then we have another one right here to the downside where the actual move starts. So those are supply and demand areas, guys. You see me drawing them quite often. This is basically where a huge move started. So this is where the institutions actually bought the market. And when usually the market taps into those areas, there is a reaction. So I use them as take profit areas, or to potentially actually take a hedge. If I am having shorts running, then I can potentially long take a long from here to take a little bit of a profit into the lower high formation that's gonna form. So for example, right like this, lower high, then I'm gonna ride right here, then I'm gonna take a long from here, another lower high, and then as long as the market trades down and I keep trailing my stop losses, I can capitalize on the market like that. So right now as well on NZD/JPY, looking for some sort of a pullback and then to potentially tap me into this area. So the NZDs, both the Aussies and the NZDs are aligning for some pretty nice sells, guys. So again, stay focused because we're having some volume introducing to the markets. Let's have a look at some USDs starting from UJ weekly time frame. Again, this one after showing us some pretty nice bullish sentiment, it fails to break higher. EMA, like have a look at that big downtrend. Oh man, if this one breaks, then we're gonna have some huge upside, but still it's kind of failing. But the daily time frame showed us clear signs, and I'm pretty excited for this because this is clear. Have a look, like yeah, right here we had something, but if you have a look on the left, we rarely did have like a clear break. Yeah, right here we have it, but this was actually the major one was right here. But right now, the major one is right here, this one. Why? Because we created the ABC, and this is a confirmed lower low, sorry, this one, which confirms this, come on man, which confirms this to be a lower high, and we closed above it. So I'm pretty excited about this one because we're having signs of a reversal. Potentially the market still has to tap around these areas right here on the daily. And what I think is going to happen is it actually going to come back down right here to this level. Why? So have a look, guys. This one is failing to break above, and it's actually respecting those levels right here. This was a beautiful short to be taken also from this last buy before the big sell. And right now the market is stacking double bottoms and even triple bottoms. So what I think could happen from a manipulation standpoint is if you see the market failing to break above, it needs orders, it needs liquidity. And right now what I think might happen is the market can fake below and either tap into this area and reverse, or the second situation will be for the market to come even down right here and then to potentially give us the bigger reversal. All right, so those are two things that I'm going to be looking for on USD/JPY, meaning that we can take short-term sells. Why? Because we have this level right here that was just formed with this big push, and then on the hourly time frame we even have it clearly. You can kind of take it right here to this indecision candle, something like this, and then potentially right now, if on market open the market pulls back into this area, I'm gonna take a short, first target right here, second target right here, and then I'm gonna start taking longs. All right, so this is my plan on UJ. Like, this chart got a little bit messy, but I really hope you get the psychology behind how I'm framing this trade, because I think in order to push up, it needs liquidity. It's not just gonna push up from now while the market was stacking lower highs and double bottoms right here. It's first gonna fake below and then potentially reverse and then give us a big uptrend. All right, so first of all, if the market starts on Monday with a push to the upside, I'm gonna take a short from right here and write it down there, stop loss here, and then potentially take a long from here and start riding it up. USD/CAD weekly time frame, a pretty confusing pair. This one still trading to the downside, making a lower low, left a big wick this week. And if you just have a look on the daily, like, we had a little bit of a move to the upside. This is actually Monday, then we had 3 days of downwards pressure, and then we have Friday closing bullish. Overall this is moving down, but then you see the 4-hourly time frame. So we have this kind of consolidation, then we strongly impulse to the upside, which made me think, okay, we might be reversing as well. But then again, the market started creating lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. But then again, I was like, okay, this market is going up. So I was monitoring for longs and missing out on all of those beautiful lower highs to the downside. So USD/CAD has been, a tricky pair for me. And currently, actually, when looking at this one, guys, when you just open your chart, you have to, like, from back testing, from experience, and from all of the hours that you've spent on your chart, you should know what you look for. And just opening your chart, and your eyes should like position themselves, and you should be like, okay, I'm looking for longs or shorts. Currently looking at this market, I don't know what I'm looking for. Therefore, it is not clear, and it's not the price action that I would trade. But then again, starting to frame everything, the market actually failed to break below the structure. And if I consider this to be my last lower high, it broke above. But is this a significant break? No, it's not, because I consider this to be a pretty strong level right here of a like lower high or structural level, which failed to break above. And then dropping to the hourly, just have a look at this, like slow, then it got big, retest, but what is it doing? I don't want to long it from right here, so potentially it can give us a little bit of a deeper pullback and then reverse. But guys, UCAD, I am looking for something clear on that one, so I'm not gonna provide you with any analysis because personally I don't know what's gonna happen. And yeah, definitely if I have right now a pullback, higher low formation, and then a higher high, fine. Then we can start looking for new higher lows and higher highs and start taking the market up. But this could be first signs of a reversal, so let's wait for something to happen and then we're gonna strike on UCAD. USD Swissy, not a bad pair, but still a little bit tricky. But what we can see from the weekly time frame is a strong wick to the downside, and this weekly candle closed as a pretty nice bullish engulfing candle, I should say. Yes, so we actually had some bullish introduction in this one. Then dropping on the daily, we had a lower low, confirmed lower high, because then we had a lower low as well. And right now the market is actually trying to tap into those areas, but it's still failing to break. So this one, we don't have a complete confirmation that we are potentially like really reversing. Potentially if actually another daily candle closes above, a beautiful target that I'm going to be looking for is this one, the last buy before the big sell. So this could be a pretty nice area to look for take profits or potential reversals as well. 9200 is a nice round number. So let me show you actually, yeah, will I be able to find it? So as you can see, even from the downside right here, the market started to change up. Then we had this higher low formation right here. The market created a double bottom as well, or equal higher low, and then strongly impulsed to the upside. So since then, I've been looking for longs on this one. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, let me actually see. So I was looking for longs around that area right here because it tapped into a supply and demand candle on the left, and then we had a huge spike. Let me see if this is the actual, yeah. Let me see, let me just remove this one right here. So as you can see, guys, this is actually Asian station right here, building up this consolidation period right here. And then what I was looking for is for some sort of a fake, and then it happened, this one. So have a look at that beautiful consolidation, bang. This was just like very bad right here because some people went short. Some people went on a retest, some people that were already long got stopped out, so there were a lot of people that were tricked right here. And then what I did is I set my order on that level right here. And yeah, I wasn't triggered in, and the market then just continued to make higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And to return, actually it returned a little bit later. If I remove everything and go to the 15-minute, have a look. It returned to that level later, but again, it was New York session, big news right here, big spike, so I didn't want to take that trade. And then we had this big consolidation, so I was again like, nah, I don't want to trade this. Then we tapped into that area, strongly reacted again, and then started building up another consolidation right here, which made USD Swiss franc like pretty tricky to trade. Again, you see consolidation, fake, back into the consolidation, and right now we have another push up. So like, yeah, what are we looking for right now? But as I already said, if we have a strong close above those kind of levels right here that I marked on the daily, but I just, come on man, I just deleted them. So I'm just gonna mark them on the 4-hourly like this. And as you can see, we are up. This market is definitely up. Higher low, higher low, higher low, just pushing to the upside. So potentially on market open, we can have some sort of a pullback. All right, either the market can punch above and then start creating a complex correction down and then potentially start pushing up, or we can start with a push down to create a higher low on the 4-hourly time frame and then potentially push up. So personally, I'm gonna give it some time to develop, to form a clear setup before striking, because Aussie and Euro and all the other pairs are much cleaner than USD Swiss franc. So definitely guys, looking for longs, but still waiting for something a slightly bit clearer to happen. Maybe a little bit of a pullback right here, a nice rejection, and then potentially a continuation will be pretty nice to see. So let's wait for it. Alright, let's have a look at the GBPs starting from GU. So guys, you can see that something is cooking right here. We had bearish candles on all the other pairs, but this one is indecisive. So the market is awaiting for something. So let's see how next week goes. Dropping to the daily, the market is still in an uptrend. So again, uptrend, and if I am to mark like the last higher low, I should say it's either this one or this one. But this one right here did not clearly break and make a higher high. So this one is still just minor structure. So therefore we can just take this one and to classify it as our daily higher low, and then just dropping a little rectangle right here. This is our support and resistance level. It faked just by a little, but not that much. And then on Friday we had this nice bearish engulfing candle. So possibly it's introducing some sellers, but it's not entirely clear. So what happened this week on this one? It was a pretty nice play right here in this supply and demand area where the market tapped and then made a big higher high. The market was cooking for this one since like from the previous week, from the 4th of January all the way to the 10th. So this is 7 days of the market cooking for this move, and we nicely faked below, tapped into that area, and then we strongly reversed. And I was looking for longs around those areas, but I just didn't get an entry. Yeah, it was very bad because yeah, we just tapped into this one, and I usually wait for a retest, and then on the lower time frames it didn't provide. Then again we started to consolidate, we pushed up, pull back again, but I'm looking for a retest of those areas. Then again consolidated, broke above, I'm looking for a pullback right here, it didn't provide it. So it was a pretty nasty one to miss actually, and even the lower time frames did not provide me with clear setups, so I missed out on this whole move. Really honest with you, I did not take any trades into this big move right there. Then we formed this double top with this big bullish candle right here, taking a little bit of a stop losses, because you see that we have this high, and the market wicked above it just by 10 pips, but this is enough to stop people out. And right now we have a continuation to the downside, breaking this structure, breaking and closing below. So this is nice to see. So again guys, similar to the other pairs, I'm gonna be looking for a pullback. Right, so I'm gonna be looking for a pullback, something like this, and then we can potentially start going down. First target, so this one got fulfilled. The second target is this one, and then potentially if we break below this one, then we can tap into this area, because this again turns into a pretty nice level as well, because the market was heavily bought from here. So this area can find support, and if we break below this area, then we're gonna expose some other downside as well. But right now let's just focus on what we have right now. The hourly time frame clearly broke below the structural levels as well. A potential pullback could be this bullish candle right here, because this is when the market strongly impulsed to the downside. Right here it was just cooking, and then boom, we exploded. So potentially a level to look for a potential retracement is gonna be this one. And yeah, GU overall shorts. So let's see how does it develop. I'm looking for this kind of setup, potentially to take it down, first target right here, and then to potentially trail my stop loss to the downside. So let's see if we're gonna have some bearishness on GU. I still have some analysis right here on this one, on GJ, but I'm avoiding trading that one. So have a look on the weekly time frame again. It's been 2 weeks of big wicks. This week was a big indecision doji candle. Daily time frame, yes, we started with a strong move into the highs, we consolidated, and then we actually closed where we opened and kind of fulfilled that bearish candle, which looks like a long setup right now. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, you can see that the overall structure is up on this one, and this is what worries me. I don't want to go short on this one yet. I really need to see something more, because then looking on the daily, this is a very nice level right here to actually buy from. And then you can see it perfectly got fulfilled. You even have this indecision candles right here where before the move started. So currently we're tapping in a very strong buy area on GJ. And although we saw that sort of market structure shift on top, we can still have a little bit of a push. So what I can expect on GJ is a rebound from that area, a potential tap into those areas, and if then we form a lower high, if the market fails to break higher, then we can potentially head lower. So this is something that could happen on GJ, and if this happens, then potentially a target will be this level right here for a potential first target. But again guys, it depends on Monday. I don't like analyzing too much on the weekend, because Monday can open down there. And then what do? We have to readjust everything that I just said right now, all right? So GJ is having a slightly bit of a bearish sentiment. It's starting to reject around that area right here. It's creating a lower low. Therefore, we expect a lower high. So let's see how the lower high is gonna form. You can take longs from right here if you find your setup, but I would recommend that you wait for a lower high to be formed and then to potentially short it if it provides you with the setup. All right, but yeah, this week we overall had this price action right here, which was pretty consolidative, pretty unclear. But let's see what next week provides to us, and I think the market is starting to set up for something. We just have to be patient. GA, I'm not touching this pair right now. Like we started right here with a little bit of a lower high. We tried to sell, then the market started breaking up, push pullback, higher low, higher high, fine, and then we just ended up consolidating. But if I go to the hourly, was looking a little bit cleaner after this point. So this price action is completely confusing. And then we start making little pushes with little pullbacks. This one was nice impulse, nice correction. If I drop right here, this was a potential long opportunity as well. Have a look, nice accumulation. There was actually a retest right here, bang. So this was, I'm not sure, I think somebody took that trade right here, but it was an Asian trade. This was a textbook 2.0, one of the strategies that we trade. but again, this was missed by me. I think somebody from the community took it, and then from then on, after creating the high, we ended up chopping around. So this price action is pretty unclear to me, and when something is unclear, I always mark the highs and lows. On this occasion, we kind of broke below the low, so I can just mark this as my high, like take the average, and then I can mark, yeah, this is pretty thin, but the market is currently trading in between that range. Then dropping to the hourly time frame, you see, what do you see when you open this chart? What do you see, guys? Up, down, or what? I see sideways and choppy market. Therefore, I am avoiding this one until I see something clear. All right. Let me know if some of you have different thoughts on GA, because I know GA is a pretty loved pairs by a lot of people. I personally don't. It's not to my taste. So I'm not looking for anything. Maybe a high retrace and a potential long, maybe a break retest and a potential short. This is what I'm going to be looking for GA. So let's see. Euro GBP. I was calling shorts to my team, but this one never pulled back. After fulfilling this little bullish candle right here, tapping into it, I actually, if you check the previous weekly outlook, I called this short right here. I called a little manipulation into that area. And as you can see, like we consolidated, then London opens, we start to push into that area, we pull back, and then we actually retested the broken structure. So this would have been a beautiful short. But this happened on Monday, and then since Monday, we dropped, like really dropped lower. So imagine the R&R if you enter right here and you are down there. And then again, the market didn't pull back. The hourly time frame provided some setups, but yeah, the only setup that I saw was right here, because we had a clear push, a clear pullback, but then the market started to chop around again. Have a look. And this is one of our trading validators. When you don't see a clear break in a retest and when the market gets way too choppy, just step aside. Right? When the market gets a little bit too low, you don't want to enter. We always want to enter at the top, right? Right now, if I'm to just drop a little analysis on this one, well, it looks way too low. On the weekly time frame, huge bearish engulfing. On the daily time frame, a nice lower low, definitely in need of some sort of a pullback. On the 4 hourly, my major lower high should be this one because this one broke. So I'm gonna take this one because this one looks way better. And yeah, like something like this could happen on Euro GBP as well. If GBP USD starts to pump down, this one should start pumping up. A very nice area to look for shorts will be this one right here, because this is a pretty major area, and the market can come around this area right here, like around Wednesday, Thursday, and then possibly sell off on Friday. Right, so this is something that could happen. I am currently short biased on this one as long as it remains short, but if we have a break, I'm gonna be looking for some sort of a retest and then riding it into the top, meaning that GU and GJ potentially should start pumping down as well. All right, so let's see how this one develops. I'm seeing some potential longs on this one, but the structure is not entirely clear. So let's see how the GBPs are gonna develop this week. Let's throw a little outlook on gold as well. So I'm sure most of you guys will recognize this by push flag formation, and then the potential outcome of this one will be to push up. So definitely this could happen, but currently the market is still moving down. Right, so from the previous week, if you remember, we respected this area, not very huge reaction. Then I was looking for some sort of a pullback, but the market did not provide it. And since Monday, it just consolidated. We ended up a little bit bearish on Friday, but still, I think this one should pop up a little bit and then continue its downtrend to the downside. A level that this is a very powerful level right here. This one, this bearish candle. The market can tap into it and then possibly reverse, but I'm still really looking forward to my 70-50 level. But possibly I'm gonna be looking to buy gold if it taps around that area right here, because this is pretty powerful. But first of all, we could have a little bit of a rebound to the upside, then potentially tap into this area, and then potentially we have to wait for the market to show us if it wants to go up or if it's gonna seek liquidity even below. All right, so this is my outlook on gold. Then dropping to the 4 hourly, it's a complete consolidation, so I'm mostly focused on the daily right now on gold, because you have to get the bigger picture and what is cooking right here. So definitely knowing that we're currently in a flag formation, that we reacted strongly from that area, but we failed to break structure. The market can definitely seek more liquidity. We can even break below this one to tap 70-50 to the pip. So let's see. I'm looking for this short term. We can have a little pullback to take shorts, but if the market taps into that area, make sure to prepare for something to happen. So let's see how gold goes this week. And of course, wrapping up the video with some indices. We're having a little bit of a bearish rebound because right now companies are starting to release their earning reports, and this is definitely influencing the market. And if I just I'm just gonna have a look on the daily time frame, a potential level to look for is this one right here. Then dropping to the 4-hourly time frame, we can see that this is a pretty nice area to potentially look for longs as well. But this again depends on how the companies are going to perform. This is US30 as well, so make sure that you are aware of the fundamentals of this one. A whole week of consolidation, and I'm telling you why, because yes, currently we're having the earnings reports on the companies, so make sure to stay tuned for that and monitor. Make sure to be aware of the companies behind the index so that you know how it's going to react. But potentially something like this could happen if the market is going to react to the upside. So I'm pretty interested of this area right here to see when the market taps how it's gonna react. NASDAQ as well, kind of the same. You can see the same areas right here currently being tapped into, and potentially we can have a rebound on the daily time frame. We're perfectly to the upside after the creation of a higher high. We spiked, we tried to push up, but we didn't manage to make a higher high, and right now we are seeking more orders. So this one can even flush even further. So make sure that you are aware as well of your hourly time frame. So currently it's perfectly to the downside. So you want to see some sort of a rejection, some sort of a bullish pressure, and some sort of a structure shift. So on the 15-minute, you're going to see the structure shifts more often, but then this is where top-down analysis comes in, right? Because the 15-minute can change every time, but if the higher time frames are still trending down, then you're not going to have a high probability long setup. All right, so NASDAQ as well, looking for potential longs, but still we can continue going down. And S&P, nice rebound. I bought some stocks, but I bought some stocks that I'm in a nice drawdown. I had one that I was 9% drawdown, so I bought some in to kind of stabilize it, and right now I'm 6% drawdown. So this is a strategy that I use as well. And on S&P, I'm trading the VUSA index, so I'm totally recommending you to check that one out. It was pretty pushing to the upside, so right now we're starting to have some pullback. And as soon as I have like a little bit of a 2% change, for me is not that much. I'm gonna be looking for at least 5% change in order to buy some more, but I'm gonna look for the market to react from that area, and potentially if I see the market starting to react, I'm gonna buy some more. All right, so potentially on S&P, we're having a little pullback right now. Let's see how the earning reports goes. Let's follow the index and make sure to put some money in stocks as well. All right, so this is the weekly outlook for this week, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. You got something valuable. Make sure to stay tuned because we're having some introduction of pressure, and I really think we're gonna have some pretty nice setups upcoming. As always, stay tuned for the Tuesday analysis on Telegram. Make sure to join in there. I'm gonna give my best to provide you with more setups, but I'm completely focused on the community because they're getting pretty active and I have to monitor. I'm always answering their questions, always reviewing their trades, potential setups. So you can always ask like, what do you think about this setup before you take it, and I'm gonna give you feedback. And this takes time, and then if I want to provide setups to you as well, this is gonna take more time, and then I'm not left with time to trade on my own, right? So as always, I really appreciate, guys, I really appreciate you. I will appreciate your ideas for future videos as well. I wish you a crushing week, and if you ever have any questions, make sure to reach me out.